Hello, I'm Lorna from Thread and Yarn. Welcome to my little cosy corner of YouTube. It's a podcast where I talk about the clothes that I've made mostly. It's knitting, sewing and natural dyeing. I also dye wool and fabric and make things, all sorts of things I can have an idea to make. I try to make it. This episode is a little bit different because I have been meaning for like a whole year to share with you my trip to Rye, to Merchant & Mills. I went about this time last year in February and I had a wonderful time. And I just thought I would share some videos from my little trip with you and also share a project that I made, a bag project that I made from fabric that I bought when we went to visit. If you haven't heard of Merchant & Mills before, they're a lovely UK based fabric shop. They sell lots of gorgeous linens and cottons and hemp, all sorts of lovely fibres and fabrics. And they have a bit of a cult status, I guess, amongst sewists. They are more expensive end of the scale, but their things are just lovely, beautiful quality. In fact, I'm wearing one right now. This is a Zadie wrap dress, here we go, that I made from one of their, in fact, two remnants of theirs that I bought over the period of a year or two of their Joseph linen. It's like a mini black and white check. Their linens are beautiful quality. So yeah, I do love them. And they seem to like a sort of sludgy autumnal colour palette as well, which I'm very fond of. So yeah, it was a big point of excitement for me. I think that's kind of why we went there on holiday to Rye, which is this beautiful little English town. And I've been wanting to go for years and years and years. So I was really excited when we went, and we stayed in a little hotel nearby, which was such a treat. So yeah, I've got some videos of my little trip. And then I'm going to talk you through the project that I made in fact we both made. We both bought fabric for a bag each. Ben's is in his office at the moment. But here is mine. It's the Francli bag. So Francli are a bag maker, like a high quality bespoke bag making company. And they worked with Merchant & Mills to create a pattern. And yeah, at first I was thinking I wanted to make a bag for gardening because I work as a gardener a morning a week and also I'm at my allotment all the time. So I wanted a really robust bag for gardening. However, when I made it, I was like, oh, it's really pretty and I'm not sure I want to use it for gardening. But what I do have is loads of scraps of oilskin from this bag, from my Landgate jacket that I made recently, from my September coat that I made years ago now. So I thought I'd do like a bit of a patchwork one with my leftover oilskin and I'll use that as my gardening one, unless I end up falling in love with that one more and more swap. We'll see. But yeah, so this is in no way affiliated with Merchant & Mills or Francli. I just bought the pattern. We both did when we were there because we loved it. And yeah, I got this sort of purpley toned oilskin from their remnant basket when I was there. And then this is a heavy duty canvas which also had a fold in it, so I was quite lucky I got all the fabric for a discount. And then inside my bag is a sort of, well, it's a cotton, it's quite a tough cotton. It's probably meant for like upholstery or chairs or something, but thinking that I was going to put my tools in it, I wanted quite a nice tough one. So I do really like the bag. There are things about it which kind of bug me or were difficult making, but I thought I'd just talk through that throughout the video. However, on the whole, the bag is lovely. What I particularly like are these deep pockets, and it fits my water bottle nicely, which is nice. It really does look like a day pack, you know, heading off for a nice long walk. The only thing with that is when any weight is added at all, I find that the angle of the bag is likely to go like that. Now, even if I tighten my straps the way that the sort of bag's designed means it does sort of slouch backwards, and with the whole day of walking I find that does ache a little bit on my shoulders. I think the fix for that would be to use a much thicker cotton webbing. This cotton webbing is maybe a little bit thin. I didn't get it from Merchant Miles, I got it from somewhere else, I can't remember now. Yeah, would be to use a thicker one, or maybe it's the low down placement of these straps. The other thing is that the bag is like a roll top. Take this water bottle out. The bag is like a roll top, like this, or the other way, whatever you want to do. And then it fastens by these little togs, not togs, they're like little slip-on clips going over like this. Now the kit, this confused me a lot, the kit supplies you with 2 of them, one for each side, but they're both exactly the same, so they both face the same way, they both face left. Now I can never remember which one of them stays on, the other one always falls off because it's facing the wrong way. So the choice was between putting it sort of them both facing left or using the wrong side. And I find that a little bit annoying. Ben has less of an issue with his because his webbing is much thicker. Just little things. But on the whole, I really like it, and I love the colours I chose, and I use it all the time. It's a really nice big bag when I need it to be. I often cycle to the post office for parcels and things, and it just fits them all in perfectly. There is a little zip pocket in here as well, and otherwise it's just a really big sort of empty bag. Well, not empty bag, but there's no other pockets or separators. There is this expandable pocket at the front with a side zip entrance. That's really nice. The instructions for that are lovely. And then there's this elastic bit. And when I was walking in Dartmoor over Halloween, I took my Landgate jacket as well, and I wrapped it up and put it in that elastic. And it's got these little fastener toggle bits. So that is a really nice touch. And there are things where you can tell that a really experienced bag maker has designed the pattern. So yeah, I'm happy I made it. It was my first sort of heavy duty bag, but I will stop waffling on and I'll show you a bit of my trip and our making of the bag. So I hope you enjoy it, and yes, let me know what you think, or if you've made it, or if there are any other backpack patterns that you've enjoyed. I also just wanted to give you a quick update before talking about the bag, just to say that for those of you who've been following my channel, or for those of you following me on Instagram, you might have heard and seen me talking a bit more about my briar shawl knitting pattern. We had a wonderful knitting retreat the weekend just gone and everybody cast on their briar shawls. The pattern is nearly ready for general release. The only thing is I'm just dyeing up some more yarn kits, and I've got some of them behind me. This is the results of various walnut, oak and madder baths. So I've got ranges of sort of rusts and pinks and lilacs over there. But I did a big indigo dyeing session yesterday, so I also have some lovely warm blues, and I'm hoping some greens as well as some natural colours. So, well, they're all from natural dyes, but some undyed colours should be available too. So I'm just finishing up dyeing these little kits, and I'm getting ready and very excited to release this pattern. It's an intermediate sort of level knitting pattern, I would say, just because there are textured stitches. There's a video that comes with the pattern and it will show you how to do each of the textured stitches, but I'll talk more about that in my next video, where I'll show you the different colourways as well. I just wanted to let you know that it's coming soon, and I'm hoping it'll be ready for release at the end of February, start of March. But I'll keep you updated, and this time I promise I'll give you advance notice of when the yarn is going to go up in my shop. I dye everything myself at home, so I only do small collections each time, so they do tend to sell out quite quickly. So I will give you advance notice, my lovely YouTubers, and also if you're a Patreon as well. But yeah, I've been wearing this shawl lately. It's funny because I can see myself. I'm going to try and do it, not get confused. Looking at the mirror image, I've been wearing it a lot like this recently, and this has become my new favourite way to wear it. This is the size 2, and then it covers both of my shoulders and just makes me feel really cozy. The other exciting thing, here it is. My friend Tom here in Stroud has been making some little pins from the blackthorn tree and fashioning them into shawl pins and oiling them and waxing them, and they're just beautiful. They've even got a bit of the blackthorn bark left on them, and I'll have just a very limited number of these in my shop as well. But I think they look super cute with the shawl because it's hedgerow inspired, celebrating the different rows of the hedgerow. So yeah, that's my little update about the bridal shawl. But this episode is going to be all about Mechlin Mills and the Francli backpack or daypack, and I'll update more hopefully next week about the bridal shawl, showing you the different colourways and telling you when I will release it when I've decided. So hope you enjoy. Got my Aura pinafore on, my little bilbo vest because it's like 3 degrees this morning, and a very old Ilford jacket, so I'm double quilted, and I got my hood in my bag. Hello, so I'm in the shop in Stitches in Stroud, and we are doing our, sorry for the traffic noise, we're doing our matching backpack day. So we're both making these, is it Francli Daypack backpacks. We went to visit Mechlin Mills, as I've probably talked through already, and we've chose some different fabrics. So I picked up this remnant of Conquer oilskin, which has got this lovely reddy sort of purpley browny tone to it. And Ben chose the chocolate one, so they're slightly different in colour. And then I also got like a second of the canvas for the back. Cass, some of my dogs. Cass, good boy. I got some of this like rust. What was the expedition one? It's a really thick canvas because you've got the like oilskin on most of it, and then the back and the underside are canvas, like extra durability, and so you can kind of see it on illustration there, so you don't have the oilskin on your back. And then we're choosing some lining fabric here, but I think they're going to be cute. I'm loving that we're going to have these matching backpacks. We just bought a camper van, and we're going to be going away a lot more, I think, to the beach, and we're generally sort of always off out to the allotment. It's nice to have some practical hard wearing backpacks, so I think it's going to be good. We're now going to have matching contrasts for our bag, which is going to be very cute. So yeah, I'm just cutting it out now, and we're actually going to have some left over, and then we're going to choose some lining fabric from In Stitches. We've actually got some Mechlin Mills fabric, and lots of other lovely fabric. We're just choosing a lining. Ben likes the look of the linen. This is going to be for work, so I think that would be good. I'm going to use mine for gardening, so I might go for something slightly more heavyweight like this twill. We decided to go for this heavyweight calico instead. It's quite robust and yeah, I think it's going to wear well. I'll probably go for a darker colour because mine's going to be for gardening. So Ben's cutting wadding, I'm cutting some webbing. I don't think I'm going to have enough of this really nice slimy mustard colour, but it was, they were like offcuts, so I thought I'd get it anyway and try my luck. If not, I've got this sort of steely blue one as well, but it's a little bit thinner than the Merchant & Mills one. Ben's got this quite thick, like neutral coloured one. So yeah, I'm going to measure this up and we'll see. If not, I'll use this one. Lush colours though. Yep, didn't have enough of the mustard, but going for this nice steel colour. I was struggling to picture how it would end up using like 4.6 metres or something. I think it's what it said when we were looking at the sample, but actually really getting through the roll. I've got 2 more long bits to cut out and this is what I've got left. So it does look like it uses it all. I don't know where it all goes, but I guess we'll find out when we sew it up. I'm just cutting out piece 24 now, which is the shoulder strap webbing. I was a little bit confused because it says fold near the end, and I was thinking, does it mean cut on the fold? Because that's normally what I think of when I see fold near the end, but it's not right on the end, and it's on both ends, so that wouldn't make any sense unless it was becoming a circle. So it's just what you do with the pattern piece after. Just mention it in case you make this and you're having a bit of a confused moment like I did. I think it may just be me, but yeah, so you don't need to cut it on the fold. I'm just cutting out the webbing pieces, and I've got this much left over, having bought 4.6 metres, so I guess they added a bit extra for errors and stuff, but just in case you're running short, I used exactly 4 metres. I've gone for this cotton canvasy sort of thing. The lining bit is lighter weight than the other one, and I think it'll be nice and durable if I put my trowel in there and stuff. It's kind of, if the cameraman could do a close-up. It's kind of like neutral and white flecked, so I think it'll be good. Loving the colour of the conga. Look at it in the sunlight, although it won't be like that when I'm wearing it as a backpack, but it's really, really nice colour. So I had a bit of a battle with my machine trying to get the tension right. I've actually gone up to a heavier duty needle than the one it recommended, which was a 90. Anyway, I've managed to sew down these little loops, which are going to get folded in half and stitched down on the front pocket. And I've just folded the pleated front pocket. Ben's doing the same. But yeah, it took a while to get the tension sorted. I've same with oilskin before. I made a September coat on a much lighter weight machine than the one I've got now, so I'm not sure what's going on really. But yeah, gone for a heavier weight needle, had to adjust my tension and lower it quite a bit, but got there in the end. I've got my little goodie bag. Ben got excited and has already opened his. We have 2 cream zips. It's going to match your lining really well then. And some hardware. They only had the nickel hardware kit when we were there, so it's been quite shiny, but hopefully look nice. It's got some very satisfying little bits. Little elastic thingy, I guess. Tightener. Nice. Just doing some more edge stitching here. My main tip with edge stitching is not to look at your needle going up and down, and general top stitching is not to look at your needle going up and down, but to focus on keeping your seam line in line with a specific point on your foot. So I like to pick a landmark and just focus on that, and then keep my seam and that point on the needle lined up the whole way along. If you focus on your needle moving around, it's really hard to figure it out. So So here's mine. I've got a little line here on my foot, and I'm kind of lining it up with the seam, and that helps me, yeah. So a consistent line across. So I've done the front, that's the top of the front, this is the front pocket. It's got this nice pleated fold. We've attached a zip. And yeah, I've got the base canvas fabric now to attach next. But I think we're going to have a break and order some pizza. It's about 8:30 and it's tea time. I've done the main front, and I think that's part of the like roll top, and this will be the base, and then also sewed up 2 shoulder straps. Had a bit of a palaver because I sewed it with one wadding strip on the inside, and then realised we'd cut 2 so it'd make it extra thick and lovely. So I had to unpick it, and I was very pleased with how neat it was. But I've done it again. And they've got these like little folds at the bottom. You can see this one's a bit better than this one because this is the one I redid. But now onto webbing. So I've chosen this like steel bluey one, and this is the little nickel thing I mentioned earlier. And I think what happens then, once I sort of stitch this together, is that it'll sort of get put on top of the strap for extra reinforcement. So I think that's going to look cool. Yeah. Got some tea brewing. It's still pretty rainy outside, and yeah, gonna have a nice cozy cup of tea. It's actually been incredibly handy working in a haberdashery because the thread colours I brought really weren't great, and yeah, been able to match them in person and choose everything we need. So thank you, Christina, who's let me work in her shop all day today. So it's day 2 of making our backpacks, and we're working at home today, just setting up our machines. After a break of a couple months, we're back to sewing our bags. We're at home this time, and I'm trying to figure out what step I was at. But Ben has already done his, but this is what I'm about to do. Add these little hardware bits on to the back, which I think the straps will then join. So I'm just going over several layers here. I've got a webbing folded over and the bit of hardware attached, and then this piece of webbing which is lying on top, and then it's on top of the oilskin. So it's quite a few layers, and it's I've got to edge stitch this bit of webbing down. So I just thought I'd show you, and I've moved my needle over as far left as I can so that I can stitch along the edge without encountering all of this stuff. You could use a zipper foot maybe as well, which is sort of similar. This is actually quite a wide foot. It's 3/8 of an inch instead of a 1/4 inch foot. So I could have gone down a foot size as well, but it was going to make it. It was going to work out, so that's okay. But yeah, so if you do this, I would put in a decent needle, check your tension, and move your needle over so you can do it on the edge. So I've put this little like hand holder thing on, I've forgotten the name for it, and tacked on the padded straps. It's got these layers of padding on the inside as well. I've just tacked these down, and I'm going to be putting the canvas back on now, so that'll be the back of it. I think there's another bit of webbing that goes over the top of here to hide these raw ends. So it's going to be really quite thick and strong because it's got the oilskin, the padding, doubled up, and then also this really thick canvas. We got this as I can't remember if I said in the last video, but we got this as a like second because it had a mark on it, which is good, but it's coming up quite bright on the camera, but it's a really sort of dusky rust colour in real life. So I'm going to pop this on. It's starting to take shape. So we've got a little bit of confusion on these side straps. We've made them like the instructions said, but we've noticed that we've both got G toggle clip thingies, whatever they're called, that face to the left. We don't have a left and a right. And then when it comes to this picture here, when you lay them on, the G clip is facing the wrong way. In the picture it's sort of like that, but then the hooky bit's not at the top. Yeah, so it's a bit confusing, so we're going to get in touch with them and see what's going on. So we're just going to do a couple of other bits like the lining, but it means we'll have to stop today. So we've been working on the lining while we are figuring out what to do about the strap thing that I showed you. But yeah, I've attached the zip. It's pretty much like how you do a welt pocket. That's not the neatest, but very well. It's yeah, it's a nice wide lining pocket. I think it's supposed to be wide enough to put your laptop in. And yeah, just sewed up the lining bag. I can't attach it to the rucksack yet because we haven't been able to put the rucksack together because of the strap thing. So this might be where we leave it today, but I'm happy with how this bit's gone. Okay, so the bag is taking shape. I've pinned the side to the back and the front. It's quite tricky pinning around this corner. It looks like the fabric's bunched up going around, but it's just because the side is a curve and you're pinning it onto a straight edge. So it's just really important to match up the notches. And then when the raw edges actually join, and the centimetre in where the seam allowance is, it all works out fine, but the fabric starts to pleat as it goes down, but don't worry about that if you find that. What I found helped was pinning from both ends where I knew it had to meet, and then working down the straight and then matching up notches around the curve until it all sort of figured out. I'm on my second one now. I did my first one a minute ago. Sorry for the bad light, it's evening now. But yeah, I did the first one, I'm now on the second one. So that's my backpack. There you go. I hope you enjoyed seeing the making of that and a little glimpse into Rye. It was such a pretty town. I'd really like to go back. No ulterior motive, of course. I think I'll limit my visits to Merchant Mills to make it as a special occasion, at least every few years. But it was delightful. I'd like to know what you thought if you've been, or if you've been on any other lovely trips to different fabric shops wherever you are. I'd love to hear about it. And if you've got any other backpack ideas or thoughts, then share them here. And I'll see you soon. I'm going to do a video hopefully next week where I talk a bit more about my Briar shawl and a general update as well. And I'm hoping I'm going to have a nearly finished and bound quilt by then, but we'll see how I do. So hopefully see you then too. I hope you're all keeping well, and yes, at this moment where we shift from winter into spring, it's starting to give me lots of ideas for new projects. But yeah, anyway, I'll catch up with you soon. Bye.